All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just telling a story, we're basically cracking open a cold case file together. We're going to deconstruct the Blackwood Hall poisoning, piece by piece. You ready?
And this quote, man, it really sets the stage, doesn't it? That's exactly what we're dealing with here. The Blackwood poisoning isn't some forgotten file in a dusty box. It's active. It's been lying in wait for almost 40 years, and it feels like it's about to pounce.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're going back in time, almost 4 decades. Picture this, Blackwood Hall, a huge, opulent mansion. There's a fancy gala going on, but it's not just any party. The air is thick with Cold War secrets, and in the middle of it all, a murder. A murder so clean, so perfect, it was like it got flash frozen right then and there.
38 years. Just let that sink in. For 38 years, the truth about what happened at Blackwood Hall has been completely sealed away. The killer? A total ghost. But as we're about to find out, secrets, especially ones buried this deep, they have a funny way of coming back to the surface.
So, let's walk through the exact sequence of events on that night. November 14th, 1987. Admiral Harlan Blackwood is hosting this big Cold War gala. He gets up to make a toast, says something really cryptic. To shadows, eternal, our depths devouring the dawn. Drinks from his chalice, and boom, he collapses. But right before he dies, he murmurs one word, traitor. The investigation kicks off, but nothing. By 1988, the case is ice cold. The killer just disappeared.
Now, the weapon of choice here is really interesting. This wasn't a messy, loud crime. No gun, no knife. The killer used belladonna, also known as deadly nightshade. It's this super toxic plant. The toxin inside, atropine, basically causes paralysis and just stops you. It's a silent, almost elegant way to kill someone, which tells you a lot about the kind of killer we're looking for.
Okay, so let's fast forward. We're jumping to November 3rd, 2025. This is where the cold case suddenly gets hot again. And what reopens it isn't some new witness coming forward or a deathbed confession. Nope. It's something much more primal. An act of nature. We're talking about a monster storm. A nor'easter just rips the Chesapeake Bay apart. We've got 70-knot winds, massive waves just clawing away at the bluffs where Blackwood Hall sits. This isn't just a bad storm. It's a force that is literally unearthing the past, digging up secrets that have been buried for almost 4 decades.
And right into the middle of all this chaos steps our investigator, Isabelle Sami. She's only 28, a probationary agent with NCIS, so she's pretty new to the game. Her assignment sounds straightforward enough, right? Just go to the storm-damaged Blackwood Hall and recover any historical artifacts. What she doesn't know is that she's about to walk headfirst into a ghost story that's become a legend inside NCIS.
So, the big question is, what did this crazy storm actually churn up? Well, hidden under the boathouse, buried in the silt for 38 long years, was the one thing that could crack this case wide open: the murder weapon itself.
And this chalice, it's just incredible. I mean, forensics test it, and guess what? It still has traces of atropine, the belladonna toxin, after all this time. How? Because it had this submarine-tight seal. It perfectly preserved the poison for decades. And get this, it has a floppy slot in the stem, which is identified as Cold War tech, and these markings of a trident and anchor. This thing isn't just a cup, it's a high-tech piece of spy gear.
This is where her husband Kyle comes in. He's a Navy diver, so he knows his stuff. He takes one look at it and says, diver grade is, from a subwreck, holds air, holds secrets. He recognizes the floppy slot on the stem as vintage Cold War tech, so right away he connects the dots. This isn't just a murder weapon, it's a piece of naval espionage history.
So, Agent Sami has just found the smoking gun, literally. She's securing this amazing piece of evidence, and then things get weird. The case suddenly veers from a standard forensic investigation into something else, something way more unsettling.
Imagine you're her. You're on this dark, storm-battered porch. All of a sudden, you hear these heavy, deliberate footsteps, a dragging sound. The air gets ice cold, and there's the smell, rot and lilies. It's like the whole atmosphere just changes. You can feel that you're not alone.
And then, a voice. A whisper that cuts right through the wind and rain. It knows her name. It says, Sami, why dig? He's sleeping. I mean, talk about chilling.
It's a direct warning, but who is saying it? Or what is saying it? Just then, a flash of lightning cracks across the sky, and for a split second she sees it, a figure. It looks gaunt, waterlogged, like it just crawled out of the bay, and its eyes, they look just like Admiral Blackwood's. And then, poof, it's gone, vanished back into the fog.
So now we're left with this huge question, right? What was that? Was it a ghost? The actual spirit of Admiral Blackwood warning her away? Or was it something else entirely? A very real person in a very creepy costume trying to scare a young agent off the biggest find of her career? Okay, so with that creepy encounter in mind, let's rewind again. Let's dig into the original 1987 case file and look at the suspects, the people who were actually at that gala the night the Admiral died. It's a real gala of ghosts, and every single one of them had a reason to want him dead.
And what a cast of characters it is. This is like a classic spy thriller lineup. First up, you've got Ensign Victor. He's 24, the Admiral's aide, and he's got massive gambling debts in Vegas. That's motive 101 for betrayal. Then there's Lydia Voss, a CIA operative. Her entire world is espionage. Maybe the Admiral knew something he shouldn't have. Next, Hargrove, a former SEAL, dishonorably discharged, now working as the butler. You can just feel the resentment there, right? A perfect recipe for revenge. And then there's the wild card, Clara. She's only 16, but she's a hacker. What if she stumbled onto some stolen intel? Any one of them could be our killer.
So, let's try to put all these pieces together. You have the original list of suspects from '87. You have this incredible new piece of forensic evidence. And you have this terrifying, possibly supernatural encounter. It all weaves together into this web of questions that stretches all the way from the Cold War to today.
All right, let's just quickly run through the key clues again. We have this amazing Cold War chalice built like a submarine that kept poison viable for almost 4 decades. We have a solid list of suspects, all with believable motives: money, espionage, revenge. And then we have this mysterious figure on the porch giving a warning. It's this fascinating mix of hard evidence and something that, well, that can't be explained by science.
And all of this leads us to the one big haunting question that this whole case file screams at you. Who was the phantom back in '87 who actually poisoned that toast? After all this time, is it possible they're still out there? And now that the chalice has been found, are they the ones watching Agent Sami from the shadows? That is the puzzle she, and now all of us, have to figure out.